all good, man. We in here.
Appreciate your patience, man. You got some patience, bro. Let's ask for more patient brothers than y'all. It wasn't a shot, brother. It wasn't a shot. Was it? All right, so we good?
Are we live? We on here?
You want to see the light on?
Yeah. It don't matter.
Can you do a countdown, please? All right.
No, it's over there.
No, he not going. It's a remote to do that. It's cool. Yeah, he's not here. I had to get him on at least on the rest of the stuff first before the remote. That'd been too much.
Who doing the intro?
I'll do the intro.
No, you got it.
And then we're gonna send it to Damon. Hey, okay, you got that mouse. Okay, all right, you good. You got the mouse back over there. All right, should I have some tea in my hand? Look at this. Look at this motherfucker.
Y'all silly.
All right, let me take a look in the mirror real quick one more time. It do. Yo said he ain't even used the handle. This nigga grabbed the fucking. Yeah, we ready. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we like to welcome y'all to our self-mastery, mental health, and self-mastery course. If you haven't already, create your account at www.soulclubs.com. When you go there, you can go and type in your name, email, phone number, create your account. It should send you to a dashboard page where you'll be able to get access. Go and type in Soul University. Go that drop-down box. Get Soul University, and then from there, you can access the course that says Self-Mastery, Holistic Wellness, and you go inside there and you'll see the room that we're in. We'll make sure you get the fullness of your resources. Yeah, but yeah, if you haven't already, we got the House of Soul, Grand Lotus, Soul Elixirs. You know, we open in the Black Arts District East, historic. You know, I'd like to welcome you all to our show, though. Let me get back on the scene. Put this hat back on. Boom. All right, we back here. So, welcome y'all to House of Soul. We here with Brother Damon. Got it.
Brother Brandon.
Brother Brandon. All right, we here with Brother Damon, Brandon, Shabazz. I like to go by Dowley Black Dragon sometimes, you know, but Shabazz for short.
Yeah, he's so cool. With a smooth voice on.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Are the mics on?
Yeah, the mics are on. Yeah.
Right,
Damon's the host, so we're gonna send that to Brother Damon. So yeah, you go ahead and continue it off. We're talking about spiritual transformation and taking a step into the celestial cloud of Taoist internal and external alchemy.
I don't know if I should like get my voice like that.
Come on, bro. Keep it sexy. How I should like do it, bro.
This conversation.
He's not even using the handle.
Yeah, so
it's a right hand in the hand.
We're talking about mental health, self-mastery. All right, but now you know, like on the topic of mental health and self-mastery, I want to first ask you, like both of you guys, like in your opinion, you know, what is mental health and what is self-mastery?
Brother Brandon?
Oh man. I think to like understand what mental health is, we gotta understand the word. Like whenever I'm trying to understand something, I'm tying it back to etymology or just the definition of the word. And let's easily just tie mental to mind. It doesn't talk about health. And if we're talking about health, the root of that is heal. And anything that builds to you, adds to you, contributes to you is something that, you know, either sends you more to you or heals you. And that's with health, or it's deadly, you know. So I think if we're going to understand mental health, we have to have an understanding of ourselves in order to understand what are the things that brings us peace, that brings us clarity, that brings us sanity in this crazy world, you know, I think to understand mental health, we got to have a balance of fun in this world, and also like understanding, because what somebody said to me, you can't connect with the humans if you're too spiritual. If you're too human, you can't connect with spirit. So like, I think it's a balance to have mental health. You got to have a balance of everything within the mind.
That's beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I guess in my humble opinion, right, mental health. It's a good word, but let's break down the word mental. I have different words that connect to it, like mentality, like which would be like the lifestyle of the mental, right? So if we look at the mentality and what is our mentality, that kind of like signifies like your higher purpose of your mental. You know, kind of giving your mental a GPS, self-mastery, and, so like mental health, right? So because when you're wandering without a GPS, you have, so many people that are just straying into many different unknown territories and destinations. But, when you have your GPS, you can be able to have, prior information of the demographics of the area where your mind's going to be, so you can properly plant yourself. Root is to plant yourself in a soil that's fertile for you to grow. And self-mastery is the cultivation, the mastery of becoming a gardener. So when you plant yourself in the garden, then you become a gardener, right? Yeah. You become a gardener. So it's now, now
I love that tie-in.
That was beautiful.
A gardener, self-mastery. And, even the Bible, they used to say the gardener sees the God in her. Right?
Oh boy, that is so good. The gardener sees the God in her. Oh, I'm taking it. Snatches is in my pocket.
She's Earth.
That's cool.
That's
I like that.
Yeah, that's Earth. So we cultivate ourselves as a cauldron, a temple, a house, a vessel. And when you start to see yourself as a temple, then there's no need for you to have to go to a temple. Right? You've already cultivated yourself to become a cauldron for worship.
Yeah, I think your tie-in with self-mastery was beautiful, because in order for you to attain that higher purpose of that GPS, that like it's a radar for you. In order for you to cultivate that or release that, I guess you would say, the process of it is the self-mastery. Like the mental health piece is what we all want, we all seek, like that's the end result we might desire, but the process that you have to go through to get that on a daily basis is the ability to master yourself.
You have to become a God.
You have to study self, and then it's kind of like when the gardener see the God in her. You made me think about, like, when you come across somebody, like you've put in that work, because I can see it, because I see it in me, so I see it in you.
Like Rastafari say that. Yes, sir. And as being a gardener, you got to be familiar with all the different tools. There's so many different tools that are involved with agriculture in itself, right? So think about what it looks like to be in the tools that's necessary for omniculture, or like omniculture, or like or self-culture and things like that. What do those tools look like? For a gardener in agriculture, it looks like, you have tools, you have water, you have the elements of nature, you have seeds, you have, it's just everything. You just go down the list, tractor trailers, you got to tend to the soil, and these are
so
all
many different types of tools to make sure that process get done.
Make sure that the soil is fertile enough for growth.
I think that's beautifully put. That's well put. Beautifully said. And I think tools are something that a lot of people really don't have, because we don't know, or like humans don't know about self-mastery. A lot of people don't care about their mental health. So I guess I want to ask you guys, like, what are some tools for that process of understanding self, for mental health? What are some things you guys do to ensure your mental health is like A1 day one, baby? with some tools that we can use for society to like teach them self-mastery.
Yeah, so I guess I would like to start, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, right? But I like to start with the ancient principles of Taoist internal and external alchemy. I like to practice those as the core because you want to give yourself a higher purpose, the highest purpose, so that you could be able to grow into a new you in order to achieve them. Same thing with goals. You want to be able to set goals high enough that you would have to grow into a new you in order to achieve them. And so we have to be, more sound and more firm on that goal setting and setting those goals in order for us to be able to achieve that new us. So that with the internal alchemy and external alchemy, those different ways, internal alchemy is gaining more consciousness of the things that are going on inside your body. Like, do you know why your body is feeling the way it is? Like, just the same as a child, a baby. Like, a baby is just like, it's crying, it's feeling so many different things, but it's so in tune with the body.
Yeah.
100%. Like literally from all the way down to the hunger. The natives, they always practice, like eating one time a day, like literally one time a day. And that was like when the sun was up at a certain time, at a certain time of the sun when it's
match the body's process with nature.
And so it's not like, like we just going around just eating just for no. So you have to be able to distinguish what hunger is yours or what hunger is a desire of the mind. And sometimes you have hungers that are desires of the mind that come from, the cultures and the environments that there is. Sometimes in the environments, we don't have controls over our environment. We don't have sometimes we don't have, we have control of ourselves, but our environment is something that we cultivate. And in that cultivation, we assist inside the collective control that we all have on our. So, when it comes to, that's when your environment is something that is totally not under your control. Like it's just like they want to say, like, I want to change the world, but how can you change the world when the world is sacred in itself? Well, it doesn't need changing. It needs you to learn it, study it. Why are you trying to change the world if you don't even know it yet? You're still on, a different realm of study that's not even in alignment with the principles of its divine creation and celestial creation and engine. So like
I and expand it.
You get down to the roots with the thing. You get down to the roots with it, like all the way, because that is like you experience the world from your internal. When have you ever experienced the world from outside of yourself? We've always experienced the world from inside of ourselves. So what if inside of yourself was the most divine place, your most sacred space, a place where you could be able to go and nobody knows, and it's like what? It's like that's a temple there. That's your sacred place. And so those are tools that I like to use. Because when you cultivate your body, like what they in the Taoists say, like Mount Tai, unmovable, unshakable, and when you cultivate your body as such, your auric field is only a reflection of your internal. So it's like as within, so without. And so it's internal alchemy, external alchemy. And so in your external alchemy, you utilize the principles of nature, from the different herbs, the minerals, the speaking to people, yantras, mudras, mantras, it's different things that you're able to, to utilize that, that would align you with nature, even if you're in your workplace, your work environment, all those type of things like that. Even if you're in the workplace, there's certain tools like that with internal and external alchemy, you can be able to reshape and rebalance the energies and the conditions of any environment that you're in just from your internal engine, from internal external alchemy, right? And you're using those principles and things, and like even when it comes to speaking through ones and speaking to ones, like those are yantras in ways. You be speaking to ones, and if you can be able to utilize that as a meditation principle to speak to your higher self, even when you're speaking to ones who are off in their ways and things like that, you're still speaking to the divinity in them. You're only speaking to the reflection of your internal alchemy, your internal science. And when you be able to align that, the internal external world start to align as you see, as the internal world is. Same thing as the mind. I always bring the example of like, if we were, if the mothership came, or if extraterrestrials or celestial beings came, right, and they gave us a ship ship, and they say, oh, here goes some ships, right? I'll give y'all some ships. Here's a fleet of ships. But the only way that you can control those ships is if you had the key inside your mind and you had to drive the ship with your mind. There's a lot of ones that would implode, but there's also a science to being able to better that, and so that goes to self-mastery. If you had to drive that vehicle in space, you're talking about thousands of millions of feet above ground. You fall, you're done. You're done. You have that level of dependence. Like oh snap, I got a lot to lose. That's like I'm going high up, and so I got to get myself. We should think about that before we exit this world or exit going outside. Before you exit those are all the things you got to think about. You about to get into your spaceship right now. And you about to drive in traffic with so many different other ones. And your internal vehicle, your mind is the one that's shaping the reality of how you're steering and everything. You ain't steering things physically. You're steering things with your mind. You going left, right from you telling it to go left, right. You going up, down from you saying up, down. You going further to its destination by you giving its destination and telling it to go there. But you have to be able to make your mind sound enough, silent enough, so that you could be able to hear the direction, to be able to distinguish the direction. Because again, you're inside the abyss. This is many different minds all inside: unconscious, subconscious, conscious, divine mind, supreme mind, the atmic mind, your auric mind, your terrestrial mind, extraterrestrial mind. These are so many different minds. So which mind is, which mind are you listening to? Your navigation. And so these are different things that I like to be able to have when it comes to to a lot of things, because you're always thinking about the fullness, the full picture. This is the vessel. What they were saying ancient, the Merkaba, your light vehicle, right? Because that's exactly what it is. And your Merkaba, your light vehicle, and we navigate in this light vehicle. And so that's those are things, I guess, internal alchemy, external alchemy, because those reshape a lot of things, because a lot of even the perspectives in which you'll see that come from the external, internal, but if you could reshape those from internal, external, you'd be able to see them from a different perspective. 100%. Because it's a crazy thing that happen on the external, and then your internal would distinguish your reaction, the reactions between those, So I definitely always want to cultivate the internal to be sound, unmovable, unshakable, so that you could be firm in your response, your response ability, That
was well put, man. I think a lot of people don't even know where to begin. So many things out here to stray you away from understanding self, or stray away from I guess you would consider the path that's supposed to be. That's just supposed to follow for self.
Yes, sir.
We don't have an understanding of self. Most people don't want to look for that.
Go ahead. We about to say. I was
gonna say I was actually was looking at this book earlier, and I wanted to read this.
Spiritual transformation.
Yeah.
Hey, but just a quick. Hey, this is hibiscus, echinacea, peppermint, elderberry. Deliciousness. It's so refreshing. This was divine. My apologies, but transformation. This is external alchemy right here. This is, keep it sexy. Drink your tea.
Keep it sexy. So before I read that, I do have a couple questions I want to ask. First one would be, how can connecting with nature impact your mental health and personal development?
Yeah, Brandon, you got that one, brother.
There's so many ways I can take this. I think I'm going to answer this in two parts. Because I think in order for you to understand the connection that we have with nature, one has to appreciate and value stillness.
Go ahead, talking, baby.
Because nature rushes nothing, but everything happens. Everything happens on time and perfect, timing and alignment for the cycle of life to continue. Nature corrects itself, and if it gets a cold, we will be the end. We will go type shit. If this climate is fucked up enough, something got to go.
Profanity.
Oh, apologize.
Oh, good. We in here, baby. We in here.
But to understand and value nature, I think why stillness is such very important. Like, of course, one easy, I wouldn't say easy, but way to kind of immerse into that is through meditation. Mm-hmm. But before we can appreciate movement within our everyday lives, we have to understand why stillness and silence is so important. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, for the mind, of course, for the spirit, so you can get in contact with the spirit, so it can lead you, and you can have that radar. I love that example with the GPS, because with a GPS, you know where you're going, and you can look up and you can be prepared for like what's to come, because your spirit is telling you what's about to come. Yeah. You know, so like getting and tying that into nature. Nature is the ultimate source of stillness. Mm-hmm. Like, if you get into nature and you go on a trail and you go sit by a river and you just listen as the water hits the rocks and it just flows, and you get far enough out where you're not hearing cars and people, you just hear water and the crickets and the birds. Mm-hmm. Even though you're hearing movement, there's a certain stillness and silence that you'll start to hear. You'll hear that ring to the point where that silence is loud. Mm-hmm. That silence is golden, you know. And to appreciate that, it puts you in contact back with you, because you get to like have a moment of stillness and silence. You can't know yourself. How you know you if you like trying to learn you from everybody's impressions of you?
100%.
You know. So I think that's my impression of why. I guess how it could impact you is putting you back to where you came from.
Yeah. Allowing you to connect to source, you know, like a lot of different levels.
What was that question again? What was that?
That one was, how can connecting with nature impact our mental health and personal development?
Yeah, they have it in a lot of our tribal and ancient practices. I like to go use the Ifa as one of the many, like how they have Olodumare, the sun, right? The sun. Mm-hmm. You have Ilegbara, Olokun, you have Oya, lightning, thunder, but also associated with the marketplace, right? You have Oshun, rivers, sweetness, love, Yamunya, and it goes down the list of it. But these are also elements of nature, but also different personifications of nature. Also different frequencies, dimensions, deities, right?
That part, that part.
And so through the experience, you being able to be reawakened to the life that exists beyond our fathom. And we have to always understand that nature is our first teacher. Mother Nature, same thing. Right? Mother's the first teacher, nature's first teacher, Mother Nature. Nature's the first teacher. And the Taoists, they say the sage she, right? And so, and they also say that the sage takes sustenance from the Great Mother. The sage takes sustenance from the Great Mother.
Expand on that.
Yeah. They say the sage takes sustenance from the Great Mother and drinks from the breast of the Great Mother. So they say drinks from the breast of the Great Mother. Meaning, like, it's like, you taking sustenance from nature. My sustenance comes from nature, from the divine source. Sources that are beyond fathom. And, and that's why they always say unnameable is the essence. Unnameable is the essence, because how can I describe something beyond my description? Certain things you look up inside the lights, the what they call those lights in the Northern Lights, all those different colors and things like that, auroras, and describe that. No way. Yeah. No way. No way.
There's no word.
No word. Not a word. Not a description.
Any word you try to give to it is an understatement.
Well, it dilutes
that's well put. Yes.
You know?
Our name was the essence.
You know?
Damn.
And you can only imagine when you see these stars, like, you know, we see things shooting out the skies, the stars all the time. Like, we call them meteors. We say, oh, the this is flying from there. But you, what? Come on. Come on. A meteor, meteor. I'm like, come on. It's mediocre. It's a mediocre name. You know, like, even, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? And then they go get it, and
it's me. T-Oker.
Like, you know, somebody should have been in charge of what we going to name things. The person that was in charge of what we naming things in nature was just not the right person.
They just don't care.
Come on.
They just put something out. Everybody.
The Orion's belt. Orion.
That's what they
Pegasus.
Orion.
The Milky Way.
Pegasus. Come on. Let's be real. Yeah. You sat up there and put your Greek identification, you put your Greek gods on something that's beyond your fathom. And that's why you have in other ancient civilizations, they were called other things. You know, in the Milky Way galaxy, you had Hathor, right? You know, Isis or Sets. You know, it was a lot of different, just like the same thing we're talking about in Ifa, right? At least their names sound a little bit better, you know? You know, Harakti, Anubis, Anpu.
It got a different ring to it.
Come on, it's a different vibe to it. You know, you feel the frequency, the resonance. I like it. It ain't even about, it don't even got to be about yours against it. Look, let me just tell you, that sound, Harakti, Asar, Osiris, you know, you just get into the Ifa, Olukun, Oludumare, Oshun, Ochosi, Osumare. You hear that? It feels so much. It feels so much Ilegbara. You know, you gotta come from Ilegba. You gotta come from here.
Say with your chest.
Say Pegasus. It's no.
You stupid.
No.
Y'all are silly. All right, look. Y'all are silly.
Nature is beautiful. I'll tell you, and it's something. It's like it's a beautiful movie that you can't even film. You be sitting up there like, wow, the director of this film, the director of nature. Even when you see how the animals interact with each other, you know, these are things beyond our fathom. New species are being birthed each day, and they haven't even discovered. They've only been in 5% of the ocean. 5% of the
Not
ocean.
Even talk about like all these caves and shit.
We've
that's
only
untouched.
accessed
all these caves and stuff. I'm sorry.
3%, 4-5% of the mind.
Yeah.
You know, we're only touching the bridge of the mind.
No.
10%.
Speak for them. They've only accessed 3 to 4% of the mind.
No, I'm only speaking. You know, truthfully. We haven't used the full capacity.
We haven't used the full capacity. We have not been limited to 3 to 4%.
Yeah, we're not limited to it. No, I'm not gonna say we're limited, but I'm stating that we're not using the other 85 to 90% of our brain capacity.
So why do you think that is?
Because
the diet, the environment,
come on,
perception. I mean, of course, perception go into it, but like if we just talk about like the fact is you come into this reality at this time and place and the timeline we exist in now, environment, food, medicine, vaccines and shit. Like,
and I think one of the biggest ones is our thoughts. I think
thought processes.
Thoughts change us because your disease vibrates at 65 megahertz. You know, scientifically, they say disease vibrates at 65 megahertz. And there's different frequencies that you can vibrate to. And these all come from thought patterns. Thought patterns are also it's like ripples in the ocean. You're the ocean, and your thoughts are creating ripple patterns inside the ocean. If you don't control your thoughts, you'll have waves, you'll have tsunamis, you'll have, you know, catastrophic events. But if you're able to control your thoughts, they can house the most beautiful animals. They can create beautiful life, plant life, vegetation. You know what can be created? Everything was created out of water. Everything was birthed out of water, and everything was also destroyed with water. Build and destroy. You know, it's, you know, same thing with fire. It's elemental, and I think, you know, the way that we use these things, it's like we've been using the light vehicle, misusing the light vehicle, because we're living in a day.
Understanding it.
Yeah. By not understanding the light vehicle, you're misusing it. We overuse it. You know, dilute it. You know,
poison it.
Name it. You know, that'd be the word. Belittle it.
Like confining
it. Constricting it. Saying it. The worst word that was ever burst. Can't. Can't. Cannot.
And if you're going to use the word can't, put a yet behind it.
Yeah.
I can't do this yet. I can't do that yet. That's the only reason, the only way you use the word can't.
Even
if there's a yet behind it.
Even trying. Yeah, I was trying to do. Why are you trying to do anything? What you trying to do? You sound like you're struggling. Resistance. Try. You should be doing. It should be a done. It should be a doing. It should be, okay, I'm not trying, I'm doing. Activating.
Oh my God, I want you like, so dive into that real quick, because when you said you trying, why are you trying? Because it's this proverb that says, and forgive me, I'm not about to quote it correctly, but you shouldn't try to do anything, because if you're trying to do something, that tells your mind that you struggling to do something, so you have to exert extra energy, and if you have to exert extra energy, your mind is now telling your body and the rest of the world that this is not something that I think I'm capable of doing. Like, if I have to try, you know, even if it's something like, you know, I haven't done yet, like, I'm just going like go do it at the best of my capability now, and through that process of failure, you know, I'll get to the point where I need to be.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not trying, because then you exerting effort and energy that don't need to be exerted.
Just like you believing, or like, oh yeah, I believe. You just had the reasoning earlier, like, I believe I can fly. No, you don't believe you can do anything, because if you believe, that means you don't know. I believe. My belief in something means I don't know. You don't know. You don't know it. You don't know.
For it to come, you gotta know.
Yeah, you have. For it to come, you have to know. If you know,
confident.
you have to.
You gotta know. Like,
I know. I'm firm in this. Yeah, I'm firm in this. I believe in God. Oh no, then you don't know God. You don't even know the studies of the divine science. You know, and so that's what they misinterpret. You know, belief and faith, and you know,
belief versus knowing.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
like
yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, because even in the knowingness, even when they, you know, I faith it, you know, they say faith it till you make it, you know, faith and, you know, the same thing, you know, I don't want to shut on it, but faith. You know, faith. I have faith in it. You know, you already don't think it's gonna happen. It's not. You don't.
Faith ain't not a verb. Faith is not an action.
It's not an action.
Faith is a noun. You know? It's a description how you think you feel.
Right. And so
it's a description of what you think you want. Yeah. You know, like, I have faith in this relationship. I think I want this. Yeah. Like, I think what I want is that. What I don't see yet. But like, it's not, faith is not an action.
Our science is a commandment. That's why they say commandments. Commandments, literally, it's a commandment. Like, verb. The nature listens to its commander. You can command nature. It's your teacher, and you're the master as well too. It's a master. It's a relationship. Student master, master teacher. It's master student. It's both ways. You're a student in nature, but also it's master. You know, nature is your master too. At all times, you know, it's the same thing. It's the vice versa. That's where the yin yang energy come from, right? Because, you know, that whole thing, with understanding that principle, we can better divulge into things that are beyond ourselves, you know, and that's where you're getting into, you know, where they got, possession and all that type of stuff like that. And, and I'm not, and that's not even a thing. It's just people don't understand the spiritual realms. They don't understand the spiritual realms of what they're tapping into to even give it a name or anything. Yeah. So you talking about natural forces that are coming from the divine mind. You saying something from thin air can inhabit my mind and my body and control it through my mind, through my thoughts, nature, divine spirit, something divine can jump in my body at any time. Who's to say it hasn't already been happening? Who's to say that it's not happening at all times? Like we're walking through air, but why do you call it air? The ancients called it shu. They had shu. Neftit,
prana.
Pranayama, prana. They say life force energy. So if it's alive and it's life force energy, it's misusing. People misusing it.
By not understanding it.
By not understanding it. By just not understanding it.
Just with having an understanding that, the elements within this.
Come on, we could have
combined when you're born and you're drinking your mom's nourishment and it has water in it as its base and like it's combining with the elements within the air and that makes your blood. Like having that knowledge, that gives a different value to this. Like there's elements here that are in my blood that I need. I need to breathe this in and I need to give off the carbon dioxide. I need to breathe in the oxygen and give off the carbon dioxide that the trees breathe in. They take in what we give off and we take in what they give off. Like that needs to happen, but that transaction, the energy between that transaction exists here.
Yeah.
It gives a different value on this substance, this fluid plasma substance that we walk through every day, that we take in with different value with the breath.
Because we have to have our vessel, just like we're going back to the cauldron.
Well, hold on.
We have to have the question. Let me just say this one thing. The proper our vessel has to be. I know. I'm gonna just say this one thing. Our vessel has to be the proper house for divine entities to be able to inhabit. That's why we do our practices. Your internal alchemy, external alchemy. Because if you got who you call God or Jesus or Buddha, whoever, Allah, get inside your body. Is your body the proper vessel for divine source to inhabit?
Oh my gosh!
Or would you begin getting sicknesses from all that divinity up in you? You would get rashes and hives and shit because you can't contain all that spirit. Like God damn, I don't even know what to do with this shit.
That's why you see the Caucasian man.
That's why they get that holy water.
They don't really truly understand.
Bible come inside the thing and can compel that spirit and speak to it easily. They sit up there, power of Christ, the power of Christ. They don't know what they're doing. So it lets you know that it's someone that's not in tune with the divinity of the true sciences of nature. You see them operating at a very low level.
Yeah, 100%.
They're the children. But yeah, please. Go ahead.
That was a great way to leave off because like my question is, what role does the management of life force or internal energy play in achieving mental clarity and self-mastery? To start bringing us back to where we are.
Oh my gosh, let me start off with that. Because when you, and I'm gonna start it off and I'm gonna tie it back, but when you start off with any religion or school of thought that they attach themselves to through ritual of the knowledge. They have rituals with the knowledge and then they make religions. And in any of these rituals or schools of thoughts, they have a holy trinity. They have a creator, a destroyer, and a preserver. And who is Jesus Christ? He's the preserver. He's the fisherman of men. To preserve what, like, in it's the society of men and the love your neighbor as if they're yourself. Like the messages, right? To preserve the messages for man. And your question was what? To tie that shit back in with the self-preservation piece?
My question was, what role does management of life force or internal energy play in achieving mental clarity and self-mastery?
In order to have self-mastery, one has to, or mental health, one has to understand not just themselves, and then in order to understand how they want to immerse themselves in this world, which we call purpose or whatever we want to call that, they have to understand themselves in order to understand how to do that, and then how to manage their energy, how to manage their time, how to manage their focus, their intention, their willpower. Because we get a limited amount of willpower per day, period. Like, we get a limited capacity of willpower per day. And management of that creates your reality, creates like your friend groups, which creates your environment, which gives you back what you going to attract to this world. So like preservation of energy is key to self-mastery and mental health.
That was well put.
Yeah, indeed. And I also think even in preserving, what the act of preserving in itself is taking matter into its sacred space, you know, and creating that sacred space. You know, first the process of conversion from matter to that sacred space, you know, when you come to preserving that. And, you know, and I say matter because I wanted to give something that can align with, you know, all realms of, you know, entity and divine life, right? That you could say, you know, because when it comes to the preservation, preservation can come in any form, right? Preserving of divine knowledge, preserving of jewels, preserving of crystals. Then now when you get into the sacred space, that's your intent. What for? Right? And so, you know, these goes all to the path of spiritual enlightenment in itself, you know, because, you know, when it comes to like chi energy and the gathering, the harnessing of chi energy is so divine, it's so powerful. But when you get access to such divine power, has to be an equivalence of divine conversion method. Because, you know, again, they're going through such a small vessel. This house is one of the smallest houses that we've ever inhabited. In our journeys, we had big vehicles, large, giant vehicles that we would step from galaxy to galaxy, and this is one of the smallest vehicles that we've ever housed. Target. And so, even in that conversion aspect of it, in the preservation model, you know, we have to be able to be balanced to preserved, acting as in neutrality, as in that's what comes to removing your, because they have self-mastery, but then there's also a part of self-mastery that's unself. You got self-mastery, but then it's a part of self-mastery that you turn into unself. You can't define it. You can't weigh that. It's not calculated. It's not because the true mastery of self-mastery is beyond yourself.
To learn how that you connected to this.
And then once you connect to it, it's beyond yourself.
And then you're learning something beyond.
You're not even into self anymore. It's like it's unself, you know. And once you get steps into, you know, deeper into the path.
Can I jump in right there?
Yeah, please.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna actually tie in something back that you said earlier with when you was talking about external and internal alchemy. But I want to talk about your question as it relates specifically to external alchemy.
Okay.
Because just within that, it's a lot, right? We could potentially talk about, but just in terms of your question was what?
Let me pull it up again. Hold up.
Just in terms of external alchemy, and we're talking about our environment. And what is it?
What role does the management of the life force or internal energy play in achieving mental clarity and self-mastery?
So management of life force, ki, chi, energy, emotion, all of this within your environment, because there's certain things within your environment that you cannot control, like pollution and where you live at, where you're born at, with family. You know, you come into this lifetime, and like there's certain things you can't control when you already here. But there are a lot of things in our environment that we can control. And are those things, the manipulation of those things, the preservation of those things is a piece of external alchemy, and making sure that that piece is either maintained, changed, altered, or done whatever we need to alter that, so that way our reality physically in this realm matches and manifested to how we've envisioned it.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
And that's the part of, and even within alchemy in itself, alchemy is the processes of turning base metals into gold.
Right.
Base matters into gold.
So I just wanted to tie that in back to the audience.
Indeed.
To understand, like, alchemy is alchemy, chemistry, you know, like alchemistry. You feel me? Like it's much more than just what we taught it to be, where it's like, all right, the base of it is like you said, turning lead, turning other things to gold, right?
Matters.
But when we're talking about on the external level, we're talking about how we taking something and we're changing it to another form. So on the internal world, we're taking something and we're trying to preserve our self and our chi, our energy for our external environment. That's something that is key. It's integral, and to understand this, so that way we can create and manifest this, however we see fit.
Yeah, because thoughts become matter. Thoughts become matter all day, every day. And when thoughts become matter, you know, you're talking about, you know, again, something that's much greater than yourself. You know, you had Taoists that practice off the closing off of all 5 gates and sealing the 5 gates just to be able to hear silence, true silence, unfaltered by everything. You know, and so you gotta only imagine how many gates you gotta close off to actually hear and truly hear. It's so many different gates, man. It's so many gates, and so yeah, and it goes back to even with the book of the process of spiritual transformation and things like that. You know, they say it's 2 paths in Taoist alchemy: path to spiritual enlightenment, and then there's a path to magical powers, right? So you know, it's 2 paths. Spiritual enlightenment, and then the path to magical powers. Everybody want to jump to the magical powers part.
Yeah, man,
everybody want to jump to the magical powers.
Where the powers at?
Without the path to spiritual enlightenment.
I'm on the way.
Mentality. Internal light.
I like that.
Mentality.
I like how you just did that.
You know? That's your sun. It goes to your internal sun. You got the sun out here, but then you got a sun right here. That's why they always say in all these, even in Noah, the story of Noah, right? When those rocks, I don't know if anybody saw that movie of Noah, right? But when the rocks exploded, the light that was inside the rock shot inside the sky. You know, and that symbology is because it's a light vehicle here. And it's something more powerful inside our body that's housing us, that we're studying from, you know? And that's where it comes from, the spiritual enlightenment, because, you know, we're learning from that. And like, you know, and like even getting into like the first, you know, couple stanzas of what they, you know, what they're building on inside, you know, this is from the Celestial Cloud inside the book. So if you have your account, just go onto your dashboard. You should be able to access the document inside there. It is said that the ultimate goal of studying Taoist alchemy and esoteric magic is to awaken those who are spiritually. What is that word? I can't even see that right there. Let me scoot up a little bit.
Sleep.
Oh, they say
awaken those who are spiritually asleep.
Woo.
And to apprentice those who who are already, quote unquote, awake.
Come on.
Because a lot of motherfuckers still awake but still in the bed.
Come on. Let me run that back, because that brother just, you know, come on.
But whether or not an individual's spiritual discipline, you want to run it back?
Yeah, run it back.
It is said that the ultimate goal of studying Taoist alchemy and esoteric magic is to awaken those who are spiritually asleep and to apprentice those who are already, quote unquote, awake.
Whether or not an individual's spiritual discipline has been rooted in a particular religious teaching, if they seek hard enough, they will eventually discover the esoteric truth of true spiritual enlightenment. That's it. They say this is the road less traveled eventually leads the seeker to a more spiritually evolved levels of being. You know, so they have a true they got a true science inside here that we need to be able to delve into when it comes to Taoist alchemy. You know, like when they get into, you know, the training of that, right?
Yeah. So like, look, what they say: without the proper training, however many well-meaning individuals end up becoming religious fundamentalists or philosophical robots, memorizing and reciting sacred texts and holy scriptures without the ability to embody the true teachings of the original founders of that spiritual tradition. Like, if you don't seek self, you're gonna seek that shit elsewhere. and it's where they're providing it for you.
Yep.
These uneducated individuals unquestioningly follow religious dogma, condemning or denying everything that is not taught or associated with their own particular system of religious belief.
Yep. And then it goes into the disciple. They say when a Taoist disciple progresses through various stages of martial arts, healer, scholar, priest, etc., etc., he or she will undergo various physical, energetic, and spiritual transformations. Each of these important alchemical transformations enable the disciple to develop deeper and more powerful ways of manifesting and controlling internal and external chi and shin. They call mind shin. Or the mind spirit. They say it's the mind spirit. That's why your thoughts become matter, because you got a shin, your mind spirit. And chi energy, giving you giving chi to your mind spirit, then creates matter. You know, and then they say the primary purpose of this training, however, is to help the disciple return back to the spiritual harmony that is innate when it's within its original nature. So this is our original nature, spiritual harmony with nature. You know, and we get into the sciences. We're a disciple. We're a disciple of nature. Disciples of nature. They just tried to make you a disciple of mine.
So I guess my question would be, like, if we going back to like the root, or like, I guess, when are we most at nature? When are we like most at nature? I guess when we're like born.
When you're born, yes. But at this current time, at this current point in time, I would answer that when you say when you are most at nature, I would answer that when you wake up initially and that moment right before you go to sleep. And I would say why you are most at nature then.
That's funny.
Is because that's when your mind is most programmable. That's when your mind is in one of the 4 brain waves that is the most programmable of all of them. So in order for you, and that is the one that out of all 4, there are 2 that are like heavily linked to what we call ether, the electromagnetic realm, the spiritual world, whatever you want to call it.
Ashe.
It's 2 that are like veiled a little more thin, and that's one of them. And that is when your brain, your programming, your body code is at the most susceptible to be changed and altered.
So that's when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up. So what are some practices that we can incorporate, or that could be incorporated for people to like, expand their self-mastery and their mental health?
By using those 2 times?
Let me tell you something, right? I've been for over about like the past, 10 years, right? About a good 10 years straight. I've been doing a certain meditation and practice right before I ascend to, what they call the sleep realms.
Love how you talk.
Yeah, right. Give thanks. And I put my sound therapy meditation on hertz frequencies, sounds, solfeggios, and I listen to these sounds because, it gives your mind a place to yantra. When you go to sleep, you don't have control over the environment that happens around you as you sleep. Police sirens flying by, somebody talking, all this type of things like that. Somebody step on something, boom, 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 anything, anything happens that can divert. The mind is so sensitive, and it's just a wave. It's just like water. It's like, a drop in water. And so when you cut a frequency on and you're listening to your frequency, you give your mind something to be able to yantra into. And a yantra is when you stare deeply into something and you transcend into another place, another dimension. So you can use these sounds as a portal to be able to travel into other dimensions, speaking to your higher self, speaking to your divine self, speaking to your celestial self, and journey into sacred places, healing your body, feeling your body all the way down. Like, cause I can go, when I'm resting and I'm holding my meditation, I feel my body all the way down to the core. I'm talking about every bit of feeling from, any wave that crosses my body to, it just, I feel it. I feel everything. I feel every single thing, you know, from if I ate too much, if I didn't eat enough, or like if I'm thinking about something, whatever. But I always put myself in a space to clear my mind.
Do you feel your blood circulating?
You can feel all of that. You can feel your hands pulsating like a heartbeat. You know, like it's a pulse. You have a pulse throughout all parts of your body, and you can feel that energy pulsating. You know, and really start to really get in tune with the elements of your body, and really start to feel everything.
Wow.
You know, and when you start to feel everything, man, you know, it's a whole different experience. You know, you get more control over this vessel, and then now when you're traveling or astral traveling, you're astral traveling. You're astral traveling, and you're going into celestial and astral places, and you're coming back with the messages. You're coming back with the jewels. Oh yeah, I just opened up I just was on I had this one dream. You know, real man. I had this one dream. I was or this one astral travel when I was like on a golden dragon in the sky, and I always knew it was cities in the skies. I know it's cities in the skies.
Whole people up there.
Yeah, it's whole cities in the sky, temples and nations in the sky. And I was on a dragon in the sky, high up in the sky, a golden dragon, riding a thing, you know, holding a meditation, riding a dragon. And I was on my briefcase. It was funny. I had a briefcase. I was sitting on riding a dragon, riding up and down, and I fell off the head. And when I fell, this is the beautiful part. When I fell, bro, I fell, and I felt like I was, mind you, I'm supposedly asleep, but I'm astral. I'm in a meditation, bro. When I fell, my body felt all of the feelings. I'm like. Like every single, I was like, whoa, what was that? You know, but I didn't fall. I was levitating in the sky, man. You know, and so that was you know, that's crazy, bro. Levitating in the sky, yo.
You felt back to here.
Yo,
you felt right back in your body.
Get over here.
Like you having too much, you spend too much time up there.
Too much fun.
Like you wasn't supposed to be up there that long.
We wanted you to know that you were there.
Yeah.
Come back.
You were supposed to just experience the dragon. You've been riding this shit.
Too much.
Get back down here.
Where did you even get that briefcase from? Sorry, come back. Get your ass down here. Yeah, that's cool.
That's funny, man. But that's real, bro. So we in a very sacred space, man. And so, you know, I'm gonna read one thing when they have this one script in their side there. It says returning to the original nature. Okay. They say the original nature. The original nature. That's funny. Okay. They say in order for a disciple to return back to his or her original nature, he or she must first recover his Jing, essence, Qi, energy, and Shin, spirit, back from the places to which they have been dispersed.
Ooh, expand on that. Whoa, that's deep.
When you rest, when you hold your meditation at night, how much energy did you disperse throughout the whole entire day from your essence, your energy, and your spirit?
Everywhere you go, like as I sit in this chair right now, my like you said, every pulse in it's a pulse in every part of your body. Yeah. So my body is giving off an energetic resonance that will be left on this chair when I leave. When I leave here 2 hours from now, it'll be an energetic resonance from me left here. So like everywhere you go, like you said, every person you talk to, every transaction you have, because everything in this world, whether it's actually for business or whether it's not for business in this place of commerce, everything is a transaction. Whether you're talking to somebody, whether you're doing something at work, whether you're doing something for your business, whether you're doing something, you're getting something from the store, you're transacting energy. Period. It's a transaction of any energy to make anything happen.
So I have a very random ass question. I'm so sorry.
No. Go ahead.
That's my question. I'm ready.
Oh, it's completely left field.
Left field. It's about the energy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, left field, man.
He's supposed to be the host of shit.
I'm sorry. All right, so look, that is so true. So everywhere we go, we leave energy. Every room I'm in, no matter what. So like, using that, like they develop, I'm sure they have like this, cause I've seen it in the game before, but they have like this technology where they're able to like put something in there and then recall a whole like scenario from that room. Like somebody would have put a device in here, they can recall everything that we said, everything that we talked about and all this stuff. Using like that concept of energy like being a frequency or energy just being left and like being there. I could like technically follow you and I can trace you and I can watch every single thing that you've done your entire day because you have an energy like resonance and like
you just go back to that place and like
just watch
tap into the energy of the
like if I wasn't here and I was able to do that, I could come into this room and sit right here and watch this podcast.
Yep.
Right here, right now, using. Oh my gosh, that's. How do I do that? Self-mastery and mental health. Let's get back to it. How can I apply self-mastery in order to see your energies when you leave?
That's real, bro. I mean, but that's your shadow. That's your energy. You already leave your energetic imprint everywhere you go. You know, things like.
But can I send it off to?
You can.
Residue?
That's what omnipotence.
Project it.
No, that's what omnipotence is. You know, omnipotence or omnipresence, or what they say, omnipresence. So omnipresence is being able to, be in all places at all times and things like that. So you can send your spiritual shadow to come and do some, spiritual work, but there are rules.
What's the rules?
There are rules.
You don't like rules. Look at us.
There are rules to these realms because you have serial hexers that are out here that can that do that, and they try to have entities do that dirty work and things like that.
Oh, like that.
But no. Spirit is too intelligent for all of that. They'll do the work that you think you're doing on someone else. You'd be doing it on yourself the entire time. So you have to be mindful of what you project because you wanna know that what you project is also a reflection of you, but it's also the essence of you, the spirit of you, the mind of you, and it's gonna come back to you.
Something that you wouldn't mind coming back to you.
Yeah, make sure it's something that you would. Everything has to be divine.
Everything in spirit is operating not according to the rules we have, like time.
Yeah.
And so since it's not operating according to a time of events or through time space, like everything is happening like this.
So we should always be operating out of love.
Yes.
Love is a key.
It is. So if you're saying
everything.
Yeah, so if you know that you're even your enemies, right? They say, you don't treat, even in the Taoism, they say you don't show like the reflection of I don't give when people give you negative energy, you don't give them negative energy back, because they're only showing you a reflection of their heart. When you give them the reflection of your heart back, then your reflection of your heart is divine. It's love. It's spirit, and that's going to always reflect, no matter the conditions. So we have to be in charge of our sacred space. Now, and that's where it comes to, like, even when, you're doing that work and things like that, because even when you're around ones, you can yantra into certain spaces that you didn't even want to yantra into or feel or all those type of things like that. And the same thing vice versa. And that goes back to, when have you ever experienced the world from outside of yourself? It's only been experienced from internal. Right. Even if you were to be around people and just communicate just from the inside of your body, close your eyes and speak and listen and hear without seeing. And you just feel in your environment, you'll start to see a lot of different things. You'll start to see the life in the words that we speak, the life in the thoughts that we think, and so that's the same thing, because when you're doing that and you're into your path, that's the path of magical power. That goes right back to, the path, the two paths, the path to magical powers and the path of spiritual enlightenment. But it's just like jumping to magical powers without going through the path of spiritual enlightenment, because through the path of spiritual enlightenment you will understand the processes and the laws that come with your magical powers.
Why the body needs to be a certain density,
right?
Why like certain magical powers is going to be reciprocated a certain way, and like maybe I should be limited with how much I use this, because this actually in order to use this, I have to use life force. Mm-hmm. You know, some powers is you just command in nature, and some powers, in order to exert that, you got to use life force. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I definitely agree with you in terms of, like, necessary to go through that path of enlightenment first before you tap into the magical powers, because, you could do it. At what consequence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. It might not even be worth it. You might end up fucking yourself.
Or you might not even tap in how you want to. You know what I mean? Like,
or open up a door.
Open up a door. No, real shit. You open up some shit that, like, come on.
And they say in order to accomplish the task, getting back to the original nature, getting to, in order to accomplish the task, when it comes to, reclaiming your energy from which it was dispersed, they say the disciple must continually disconnect and reclaim the energies that he or she has previously lost through various interactions within the earthly realm. This was the original design and function of ancient Taoist alchemy. And so it goes into the three main branches of instruction, right, of alchemy. They have the alchemy of earth, which is the study of low magic, the alchemy of mind, with the study of middle magic, and the alchemy of heaven. Right, and they got these three different alchemical branches, because in the alchemy of earth, it goes into mineral magic, plant magic, animal magic, feng shui, magical powers of wind, water, and soil. Feng shui is your environment, right? And that goes back to, like, you being planted into the soil, a gardener, right? And things like that. Feng shui, animal magic. Like, are we doing animal magic? In tune with our animal powers, magical elixirs and things, right? Plant magic. They have plant magic, plant powers, and magical. And so we're not, and the Hogwarts has distorted the magical sciences of what we naturally practice it. And so we are now bringing forward that back, because they studied Taoist alchemy and they put it into their format, but they didn't tell you where it came from. And then you have in your human magic the basic practices of Wei Gong and Nei Gong. Wei Gong is external alchemy. Nei Gong is internal alchemy. These are different names for it. Nei Gong and Wei Gong. Those are in human magic. Wei Gong, Nei Gong, Qi Gong, Shin Gong, and sex magic. Sex magic, anybody? Yeah. All right. We misusing.
People don't even
because
know,
even it's we're living in a time of the perversion of sex magic, misuse, and so you're getting into weather magic, gathering thunder magic, and gathering thunder magic.
Gathering thunder magic. Can
gathering thunder magic. Yeah, I will. Celestial magic,
clap of electricity.
Yeah, and then you have celestial magic, the sun, moon, and the stars, magical powers. Remember, I told you we can move the stars.
You gotta have enough.
We could do all this stuff, and so and then now
we should But this
is just the study of low magic.
Just need enough.
We got enough right here.
Need enough. Condense.
Send it up.
Yeah, and so these are the different stages. We talking about elementary school, middle school, and high school right now. That was the external magic, external alchemy, the secret power of earth, low magic. We in middle magic now, the internal alchemy. You got divination, the book of changes, divination, human magic, advanced practices of Wei Gong and Nei Gong, and this is getting into more advanced trainings. The 5 elemental training. Now you have all the different elements. You're incorporating celestial and terrestrial powers. The 8 trigram training is prenatal and postnatal powers. Prenatal and postnatal powers. Prenatal and postnatal. Birth, giving birth. Come on, you already know. We already knew Mother has some superpowers. She bringing us.
Now she sent a little piece of her.
She sent us through the vehicle. We come from come on, and so this is getting into, and then they got transformational magic and things like that. It's transforming and things like that. Sunlight, then you got the high magic, esoteric alchemy when it comes into immortality training. There's a lot of people that have been afraid of the word immortal. Why? Why is such? Are you afraid of this temporary vessel that exists on the forefront in the realm of the form? You know, it's certain things in the formless realms that are immortal, and it's already inside of you, right? You know, the world of mortality is the world of conditions. It's conditional. Everything's conditions, you know? And you could say that formlessness is unconditioned.
Because you can go and you can reshape and you can
go
like,
wherever you
you
want
can
to.
form, you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have a
I
form.
want to go. I'm traveling.
That's so much freedom right there.
I'm about to fly to the next dimension,
that statement right
galaxy.
there.
I'm gonna flow with the wind right now.
That hits so many different levels within the Matrix.
Yes.
That was
The
very
word of
powerful.
immortal is the word of the man of the word of conditions. Oh man, don't let that fly above your head. Oh my gosh.
You know,
powerful.
and so it's it goes into it. So there's different levels of divinity that we just, you know, that we come from, you know, like you can only imagine the ancient civilizations that were practicing magic and nature magic. You know, they were more in tune with nature. They were doing this.
It wasn't like hidden.
It wasn't hidden. You know, people would naturally
They just
move.
knew, like, that's the sage worker. If y'all want some shit like that, stuff like that done, y'all want stuff like that done, you need to go speak to Mama, what's her name? You need to go speak to Papa, you know, that's who do those types of practices.
They passed the stuff down, like kept it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. That stuff still exists.
Yeah.
It's just it's
here.
localized.
No, we
It's
sharing
here.
it right
no,
now.
it's here
Yeah,
now
we sharing
today.
it now. Well,
And
we
it's-
sharing
and
it now.
in our communities too. But
Yeah.
like in especially like the Eastern world, but here too, it's more localized in their community. Like they protect them. They straight up they protect them because of what they bring. Like.
Yep.
It's probably innate to protect them.
Yes, sir.
It's probably like just in them to know it, to do that. You know?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So,
No, it did indeed. No, indeed, man. You know, indeed. And so you getting into like, you know, sacred magic, you know, and I like to always expound upon these because the world is magical. This world ain't need to be changed. It needs to be studied. It needs to be learned. You know,
So we can tap into it.
Yeah. It's a lot of people that don't have the study of the world trying to change it, and that's the problem that we got right now. They don't have no knowledge of what they're coming in contact with, let alone even the minerals and elements that they're coming in contact with, using them for nuclear destruction. But you know, that's another thing. Tritium. They get tritium from. Please, I'm not even gonna get into that. But you know, 0 point energy. You know, these brethrens out here. Like for real, they utilizing this same magic and sciences that we're talking about, you know, and they utilizing that for destruction, colonizing the mind. You talking about biometric data and all that type of stuff like that. How do you get biometric
Some of the
data?
with the most intelligent and sacred and divine resources are some of the poorest places in the world. This is no coincidence. This is no, and I'm not just talking about continents. I'm talking about islands too. We talk like we can go through countries in Africa.
Yeah.
But we get to talking about Cuba. We get to talking about Haiti. Like they literally have minerals there that are not from this space.
Yeah.
They have fucking vibranium in Haiti.
Yep.
Like today. That's where they got that shit from.
Yeah, profanity. Yep.
Stuff. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so hold on.
Passion. It's passion,
Actually,
bro. It's
I didn't know
passion.
that vibranium. Talk to me.
Yeah, no. They have minerals that it's like you ever heard of Modavite?
Yeah,
Modavite is another.
That's like a life changing. That's
crystal.
a life changing crystal. You
Oh my
touch it,
gosh,
shit,
it is
some stuff
Modavite.
goes.
Go get it. But Modavite is a crystal. Like it's unlike all crystals here. Where all crystals here have a very special dynamic to it. But Modavite is not from this plane. And Haiti has minerals and meteorites that have come from here that are here that are not from this plane. And they've used some of those minerals, in to conduct the heat on like spaceships.
Yep. Come on.
Just like they use melanin to put on spaceship on the outside of planes and the outside of spaceships because of how much energy it can conduct.
Yep. Come on.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, just think the richest carbon, like the richest, most dense carbon entity thing on this planet is melanin.
And they farming us for
and they're using that in a similar fashion that this vibranium that they with the movie. But yeah, and like just like melanin is so higher than a gram of gold on the black market. If we would really understand the minerals and the value and what these things do, like I'm not really gonna get into the melanin conversation right now, but understanding the minerals and the body, like just herbs, and understanding how these things all work inside and are harmony together, you know.
Yeah, because it
changes perspective and how your paradigm of this life.
Yep. Look, I'm gonna go into this right here. Understanding chi energy, right? And so they have. In the Taoist alchemy, we're taught that chi is stored within matter in the form of energetic pools of vibration, which speeds up or slows down in order to create the energetic matrix of the mineral, plant, animal, or human tissue. Hold on. We are taught that chi is stored within matter in the form of energetic pools of vibration, which speed up or slow down in order to create the energetic matrix of the plant, mineral, animal, or human tissue. Our human tissues have an energetic matrix, a pool of energy. It says from these internal pools, the chi flows in the form of energetic rivers and streams. It says there is an ancient Taoist saying that states, life comes into beginning because chi is amassed. When chi is scattered, the person dies. When chi is scattered,
the person dies.
Life comes into beginning because chi is amassed. It's harnessed. When chi is scattered, the person dies.
Expand on that. That sounds like what you were saying earlier. Like, you know,
they say chi is considered. Yeah, they say chi is considered
back. Calling that stuff back.
Yep.
Go.
No, you're good. They say chi is considered the medium or bridge between matter and spirit. Chi has mass similar to the same way that smoke or vapor has mass and subtle energetic density. Chi as energy can manifest within minerals, plants, animals, or human tissues through 3 primary levels. Physically, as matter, at this level, chi manifests through the physical structure and energetic matrix of an item's external shape and through the specific form of an object. You know, the other one is energetically as resonant vibrations. You know, chi can get it as resonant vibrations. At this level, chi manifests through heat, sound, light, color, smell, or electromagnetic fields resonating within the physical matrix of a specific object, or spiritually as divine light. At this level, chi manifests through subtle vibrations which contain messages. Message?
It's like code.
You telling me chi was the divine messenger the whole time? Chi, spiritually. At this level, chi manifests through subtle vibration which contain messages, thoughts, and feelings resonating within specific objects' energetic field. Even in specific objects.
So like what we call downloads.
That's artists when they paint figures and they tell you to look at it and tell me what you think, what you feel. When I look at this art, what do I feel? Because the thoughts are already embedded into it. He just wants you to feel it.
They already put the code in there. They just want to see your perspective on that field after you download that code from that thing.
Can you download the code
through the medium of your eyes?
Through the medium of your eyes.
Damn.
And like, so to touch back what you just said with chi is the medium between what? It's the bridge between spirit and matter.
Yes.
Like, in order for you to hear what my voice box is saying, there has to be a medium in between. Like it has to travel through something. It has to travel on something. Like it has to go through a vehicle.
Yep.
And like that is chi, or what you might call when you see the rays of sun shining through a window and on the wall, you might see it flowing sometimes. You might see that plasma in the air just real slow. Or you might see it real fast on a real hot day.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like that energy is moving real fast, it's real compact. And much like what you said, where it acts as the bridge, in order to manifest anything, like we have to put our energy into that thing. We had to put, it has to, in order for it to be manifested in this world, it has to be a carbon-based thing.
That's it.
And in order for it to be carbon-based in this physical realm, we have to leave our carbon imprint within it. And we have to put our energy within it, and then after we give it life, it begins attracting its own carbon so it can continue to crystallize. So,
No, you hit it right there, bro. Yeah. Yeah, it say, yeah, and it goes into it. You know, they teach that the special energetic messages extend through infinite space. Infinite space. You telling me everything has an energetic message? Everything you touch, anything you come across, and all those type of things. They say the Taoist disciple can cultivate an awareness of this chi specific to each mineral, plant, animal, human form, and eventually learn to activate and control its energetic influence.
And that go right back to what you was talking about earlier when it comes to internal and external. What we talking about internal, external alchemy. Yeah. Like that goes back into, in order to not only just be aware that there's code there, like there's like, I'm gonna touch this, and when I touch this, my body's gonna pick up on this energetic vibration, which has like a signature on the vibration, you know, for my body to take in as an input. And in order for me to even be aware of it or do something with it, I first got to be aware of it. And then I can like convert that and go through the energy conversion process of taking that energy and then making it apply in my life. So it's still all like a practice. Alchemy is a practice. It's a practice. It's a skill, but like it's a practice. It's a practice. It's a practice, boy.
And this is like the true interaction with the divine. It's not like us. It's not like a thing.
It's a relationship.
It's a true
relationship.
There you go. Relate ion.
Relationship.
Relate ion. It's a relate. We talking about subatomic. We talking about microcosmic.
Relate ion.
Relate
on ship.
I said relate ions. Okay. We won't get into the true science of communicating with divine spirit. Now you get into understanding how Enoch was receiving them messages. That's why you can say that everybody has those superpowers. It wasn't just Enoch. It wasn't just Jesus. It wasn't just Moses. It wasn't just Muhammad. It wasn't just Krishna. It wasn't just Selassie. We all can receive these downloads. You know, you're talking about the prophet, a prophet of what source? The divine source. The nature is the prophet that's channeling through everyone. We hearing an everlasting and continuous conversation continuing through each and every single one of us through an energetic imprint that was placed generations. And we're uncovering these things. We're uncovering the mysteries of our soul, uncovering the mysteries of our mastery, of our mind, of our spirit, you know? And you know, and so yeah, let's start, we can start wrapping things up, with a couple of more scriptures.
We're gonna wrap up with a couple more scriptures, though.
Couple more scriptures. Okay, so they say they have a Taoist scholar. They say I'm gonna read a couple of these quotes. It says, "The Tao has neither root nor stem, no leaf nor flower, but all 10,000 things are born of and grow from it. It comes to rest in a compassionate heart, in a tranquil mind, and harmonized chi is where the Tao abides." The Tao has reality and evidence, but no action and no form. It may be transmitted, but cannot be received. It may be attained, but cannot be seen. It exists by and through itself. It existed before heaven and earth, and indeed for all eternity. It causes the gods to be divine and the world to be produced. It is above the zenith, but it is not high. It is beneath the lowest point, but it is not low. Though prior to heaven and earth, it is not ancient. Though older than the most ancient, it is not old. Man, they be going deeps in between, open foot,
in
thigh,
between for
everything.
sure. Oh
what?
My God.
You talking about?
Layers.
It's layers.
There's layers.
It
to
said
this.
it existed before heaven and earth, but it is not ancient.
I'm not old. What did it say? I'm old, but I'm older than the oldest of the oldest.
Though
but I'm not
older
old.
than the most ancient, it is not old.
Because I come every time something's born. I'm born again too.
Come on,
like
they say the subtle energy of the Tao exists within every single particle of the mind. Particles of the mind. The mind, particles, thought and matter. The mind being the organization of consciousness, through which the divine manifests in its intentions. Brethren, did I just say that though? I just said that before.
Yeah, you did.
I just said that. The divine coming through each and every single one of us, manifesting its intentions, not yours, not yours, not yours. That's self-mastery. That's the unself of mastery. Because once you get to self-mastery, you understand that in order to receive the true self-mastery, you have to unself. You know, and so that gets into, the mind being an organization of consciousness through which the divine manifests its intentions. Therefore, the divine mind exists as an infinite ocean of subtle vibration resonating within the infinite space of Wuji, ranging from the highest levels of energetic pulse and vibration to the slowest vibrations of the gross material plane. The divine mind exists in an infinite ocean. So what mind am I naturally using on my day-to-day? If my divine mind is in an infinite ocean, where is my physical mind? Where is my mental mind? Is it in the ocean with the divine mind, or is it in the boat that was on the water, the ship on the water, the ship on the ocean? I'm on the yacht over there. I'm on that yacht. But you the ocean. You the ocean. You the vessel of everything. You can have a planet if you want. Why? Because planets are inside a different density of the ocean. The water's above and the water's below. It's just a little thicker down there, a little lighter above. And when you get real light, that's when you get hydrogen, helium, and all that type of things like that, and all those type of elements that exist in spaces that are beyond this plane, because
beyond the oxygen frame.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they say, the ancient Taoists believe that before conception, an individual existed as an integral part of the Tao. That is, we were with the divine, formless and undifferentiated, and not subject to the physical laws of birth, growth, decay, and death. At conception, we became less conscious of this connection. Therefore, the way refers to the journey of walking the road back to consciousness and wholeness, and integration with the cosmic order of creation, and reconnection with nature. The light in the Tao is what they say. Just like they say the way, the truth, and the light. Tao. He said Tao. I like that. That word Tao is just, I like that word, man. It's a fly word, man. Because I love it because they're getting into the science of understanding heaven and earth. You see how they said through the minds of all the ancients, the divine came and manifested the divine intentions. through every single entity, you know. And so you're getting into a sacred space of truly getting into the science of understanding the communication between the divine inside this space here. As so now we can start to reshape our experiences with our fellow brethren and sistren, and start to understand that we all reflections of this formless and divine source that exists within every single one of us. So if it manifests the divine will through each individual, how do I know when it's manifesting?
When you feel it.
How will you feel it in someone else, though?
Right.
In someone else.
You feel it in yourself.
You feel it in yourself.
You're able to recognize it when you feel it in somebody else.
You're able to recognize it in someone else.
You're only recognizing somebody else when you know.
So that's like that knowing when you like vibing with when you see somebody, you like.
You vibing with
like
the divine.
it's for example, like with women, real shit, like real stuff. When you know when you know what you want in the divine feminine, when you know what triggers you intimately, when you know what triggers you romantically, when you know what you want, then like when you see it, like it don't even need to appear to you. Like when you see, you might see it walking down the street, you be like, oh, I don't know what it is. I got to stop my car right now. I need to get out my car. And I need to find an excuse. Like it's I don't know, but I cannot do it right now. Like you know, like when you see it, your body know, your spirit know. You know what I mean? Like in that same instance with like when you come across people, like I know what I bring, and I know what I would like in a friend. Like I know what I would like in a person I'm trying to build with, or in a relationship partner. Like I know what I would like. So when it come, you like,
you cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I feel you like this, but you kind of different.
It's crazy because they always come and it be. What's going on?
He said you gotta go.
Okay, all right. So we going, we wrap it up. So I guess we just ended off with this last thing. The infinite space of Wuji records vibrational resonance of every action, including all thought and emotions, as well as patterns of light and sound. These energetic impressions are stored within the spiritual plane and exist as psychic impressions. To the trained Taoist disciple, they provide a kind of accessible filing system for information about past history, past lives, or even examination of their own spiritual progress. Yeah. And so, going into deep meditation, we appreciate y'all for joining us to this mental health self-mastery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on now. This how we do it. House of Soul. Create your account. If you ain't did it already, create your account at www.soulclubs.com. And when you create your account, go inside there, name, email, phone number, create the account. Your account should be created. It's going to take you to the dashboard. Go to your dashboard and then click Soul University. Go to Soul University, you get access to the different courses, and you should see it all right there. Holistic wellness, self-mastery, etc., etc. Choose the one and go and get access. We in here with this book. Now, you're going to get access to this collection, and that's what we doing here. I ain't even going to talk more about that. You're going to get on the website. Join us. It's Brother Damon, Brandon, and I. It's House of Soul. It's the Soul Tribe, baby.
We in here,
Logging
baby.
out.
That's